All right, Baxter and Woodman alphabetically, this one is number 2. The pros are, they have a lot of experience in Walworth County. I know that they just completed 2 projects in Lynn. They came in under budget and, they kept the project moving so that it was done as quickly as possible. They have a low number of change orders, and the company is the most local out of all the ones that were submitted, as they are from Burlington, Wisconsin. Michelle, did you have anything?
Nope, I agree, yeah, they had 6 bridge projects in southeast Wisconsin in the last 2 years, so that was, they're local, multiple railroad bridges. Just to kind of put it in perspective, looking at the 30-60-90 plan, like I mentioned, Ayers had the 60% in September of 27, Baxter and Woodman had the 60% in June of 26. So that was a significant difference. But they, yeah, they have the whole project plan as well. And I like, yeah, that they were local.
I liked that they were local, and I'm preference to local Wisconsin companies, so.
Chad, anything to?
Yeah, as I was trying to fire through a lot of these, the one thing that I was putting on one of my notes is they're talking that it would have to be a possibility, and maybe this is with all of them, but removing the rail car lines, the cable car lines in order to do the project. I didn't notice that in any other scopes of work, that
Power
would be a
lines?
must. No, I didn't circle it, but I kept writing notes, there was discussion that it might have to bring down the railroad car lines, is what I was reading. And that was the only spot I saw that, looking at all of these, and I just didn't know if that was even if everybody was gonna have to do that, because no, I didn't see it.
Seen that.
I didn't see that in anywhere else, but I did not highlight the spot, but.
Talking about like the electric line or the actual rail ties?
Yeah, no, the railroad, like, the part that runs a rail car.
The high power 600 volt line.
Yeah.
That's gonna have to come down on all of them, because that's physically attached to the bottom.
For that's what runs the rail cars themselves.
Yeah.
That was the only one that actually I saw in writing, so that's why, that was my only question, if that was gonna have to happen no matter what.
Yep.
Cause there was one proposal, I'm not sure which one, but they were talking about being able to pause when they had special events during, so that's what made me question, how, are they gonna reopen back up during the special events, so. That was the only thing I had.
Okay,
I was surprised they didn't mention like the emergency services at all. That was one of the things, you know, like the police department and the access and things like
That Baxter and Linden,
that. No.
I know some of them did, some
We
of
did a
them
bridge in the town of Lynn, and we have Supervisor Lee here from the town of Lynn.
great.
Do you guys recall working with them?
With Baxter and Woodman?
Baxter Woodman, good for use?
They were pretty spot on with their timetable. We had them for a different application where we ended up having to put in a temporary bridge situation, much like we were discussing earlier. So, they're very good at bringing all of their information to the public and doing a lot of the PR to explain what's happening, the timetables, and giving the information so that, you know, the town board itself doesn't have to deal with it. They're very open, they'll give you paperwork, and take care of all of those issues. So, we had an understanding, we kept pretty much with that, there weren't a ton of change orders, everything was well thought out and handled in a timely manner. So we were not.
So good experience overall.
Mr. Clarkowski rated the project team as 9, experience and availability with 10s, and again, like Joe Johnner pointed out, they're located in Burlington. They have done several Walworth County projects, as Ms. Lee pointed out, and they have a good understanding of the project that we have asked them to, be a part of. Their project manager has 21 years of experience, so that was pretty high too. All right, the third proposal was with,
Need it, not,
yeah. Can you go to that slide?
I don't know,
That was my number
Can
one.
you go to that slide?
it's on.
Oh, I'm sorry. The pros from Mead and Hunt were, it's a national firm with local ties. They discussed they took the possible walking and bike path into consideration, and they had a very detailed explanation. Michelle?
Yeah, that's very similar to my comments, that they have a good understanding of the project, the railroad and the Gila. I noted as well that they mentioned the bike path, their plan was inclusive in their, for perspective, their 60% was May of '26. This was the one that I'm like, yeah, it's polished and probably costly, just the way they put it together, but it was very thorough and very clear presentation of the details on the project.
I thought that if they were the ones speaking to the public, I thought it would be really transferable. I also noted that they worked with the Village of East Troy on their path. Yeah.
And they also had, historian and transportation and community preservation, which was neat.
Agreed. Joe?
Uh,
anything
what,
else?
what you have listed is basically what I have them as my number one, on my list. I've done work with them in the past, doing pump stations, lift stations. I think that they're pretty well known for them, they're very reputable, I think would be a good choice, so.
Jeff?
Yeah, it was a bike path, and I've been around for a little bit, but, so, I know we got funding to look into that project and
The
the
Village
costs
of-
and.
East Troy has the grant to do the feasibility study.
Yeah, and they said, Mead and Hunt said it's $76,000 to look into the project, and they would be, so they would talk to the village, town of Quantico, Village of East Troy, and Town of East Troy as a part of this, if they were to get this. And then they also discussed about, possibly widening the road, the intersection, on ES to accommodate traffic as one of the ways to, instead of rerouting, to maybe be able to continue to use it, but it sounds a little more costly, but obviously we have no numbers here.
And the, fourth person who was in our group yesterday said, if we are doing the bridge, it may also behoove us to try to encourage the county to come into this project and look at reworking that whole intersection, which has already been cited as dangerous, and if we're working on the back half of, the front end of Beach Road, it might be time to take a look at the whole intersection. We thought that maybe we could convince the county to join forces.
Because it used to be 55, now it's 45, and, that hill would cost millions to cut out, right?
Right.
If I'm just recalling, there was some pretty expensive, it'd be a pretty expensive project to make that more safe.
Right.
That was interesting to me, and I just, because bike path is brought up, has there been any study on that? Or-
I believe the village is currently in the midst of the feasibility study, cause they got the grant to take a look at, putting that in.
Gotcha. Okay, we can't have this opinions on bike paths right now, obviously but it would be nice if there would be at one time, or we could have public
Agreed.
comment.
When I sat down yesterday with Joe Kroll and Richard Huff, there was a big thing too, as long as that grid work see if they could try and help reconfigure that intersection. And then they also brought up, when we were looking at the proposals with the bike path, they have no objection to helping out within their right of way along, Highway ES to include the bike path.
It's a change, cause before they didn't want it down ES at all.
Yeah. And, one of their things was with the bike path going under, like, following along the railroad tracks, is all the problems that could create, like Milwaukee has with hidden spots with people walking and biking where,
The increase of crime.
yeah, where bad things could happen. That was their big concern with not running a bike path underneath there.
Good.
And that's why they said we would rather have it run alongside Highway ES than be down in a hollow.
Got it. That makes sense. So anyhow, those were the three that the committee came up with. Michelle, do you have any others that you thought were better?
No,
So you're comfortable with these three?
yeah, I think, you know, overall they all had strong qualifications, that I did like the idea of working with local options.
As I was told by Clarkowski and our, consultant yesterday, interviewing these three, would be probably the best move because they felt that by getting them here in front of us, we would be able to better assess their ability to discuss the project with the public and, be able to answer any little questions that maybe we came up with in the interim. So, I will take a motion
What
that,
about- what about Joe and Jim?
Because we don't let them know that we don't have to interview, right?
well, what I heard was, the county said we don't have to, we could select one. But the consultant called me this morning and Clarkowski called me this morning and said, it is in your best interest to sit down with all three companies and interview them in person. He said, it's great to put things on paper, but things can get lost in translation when it comes to sitting down and meeting with you. That was the recommendation that I got. So,
Did we wanna ask Joe or Chad if they had other than those three? But we-
I'm fine with
oh, out of the 9,
Yeah.
okay.
Good job, you asked me.
I'm sorry. Well, Joe had told me it's number 1 and I guess I skipped right over that. So
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
that's fine, I like they were all really good, so to me, I'm open.
Thanks.
open-minded on it.
I mean, this by no means, it seems like an easy option. You know, there was another one, Westwood, that the gentleman or project manager, whoever wrote the letter, he seemed to be from the area,
Right.
you know, I'm not sure if that's still the case, he's voted here, you know, but they had to seem to have a pretty good proposal also, but I'm the new guy here, so I'm gonna leave this up to you guys, you've kind of been in the midst of discussing that. I think, from what I read, I think these three definitely have potential.
I'll just give you my con on Westwood. Westwood had no railroad bridge examples in the packet that he gave us. And so for me, that was a huge flag because this is a railroad bridge and I wanted to,
And with, when we set up our thing for the SOQs, it says right in there that we were doing interviews, so just to pick one, I think that would not be correct, because they're thinking they're gonna get an interview, and if they don't,
then we won't be following our path.
Yeah.
So,
I think they should be opportunity to get those clarifications on 30, 60, 90% and everything like that, so it is a little more apples to apples.
So you need a motion
So-
to interview these people?
if that is the board's pleasure. I would take a motion on these, the three that we presented unless,
Well, I'll make a motion that we set up interviews with Mead and Hunt, Baxter and Woodman, and Aries on the Beach Road Bridge project.
second. Hearing a motion by Supervisor Leonard and a second by Church, all in favor? Any further discussion, I'm sorry? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. And with that, I will take a motion.
I'll make a
to-
motion, we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion, meeting is adjourned. Time is 7:50.